Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
And my pleasure now to welcome back to Beach FM a very frequent contributor, the Mayor of the Kapiti Coast District Council. Guru, good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning, John, and good morning to listeners.
Great news to hear that Air Chathams is coming back.
Right, yeah, that's really great news. May 25th, I think they're going to start. Of course, at one stage, you remember there were 26 flights per week out of Auckland and Kapiti.
Yes.
This time around, they're looking at one flight in the morning and then coming back again in the evening, and this will be for the business class, for businesses. But I mean, you've got to understand this. When they first came to our rescue, and remember Air New Zealand pulled out unceremoniously back in April 2018, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And it took Chatham Airlines leading time. They didn't have any leading time, so by the time they took off in August, which is different from when they took over from when Air New Zealand left Whakatane, Whanganui. Mm-hmm. They were told in advance that Air New Zealand was going to pull out, and then they had time to work through it, and by the time Air New Zealand pulled out, they were ready to service. That's not been the case. The other thing, of course, you got to understand is they were able to come and operate in Kapiti because they already had a viable business model working out of Whakatane and Whanganui and Air Chatham Airlines, Chatham Islands. So yes, we had money coming in. This time what happened is everything was knocked out one go. So they've got to restart everything. So there's a huge financial call on them. So that's the difference. So I think they may need some kind of support. So what the Chief Executive and myself has done is we've appealed, we've talked to the other mayors, we appealed to the government to come to help. I mean, they've done it for Air New Zealand, and they've done it for small businesses. Why not Air Chathams and also Sound there? So we're in the process of talking to the government to see what kind of support they can give. We may have to chip in collectively with the other councils, but early days yet, but there's some urgency around this.
Some urgency? Do you mean that there is a threat to the future continuation of Air Chathams?
That's right. There's some urgency in this because, I mean, like I said, they do not have ongoing businesses already running to provide the financial back, which they were able to do before, but not this time. So there's some urgency in trying to get this moving with support. So we're moving as fast as we can, and local MP Chris Farfoy has hoisted the responsibility on him to be lobbying for us. So we'll see what happens.
And you've talked to Chris, have you, about that?
Pardon?
Have you talked to Chris Farfoy about doing that lobbying?
Yes. We've sent him an email. Has the local MP.
I think he's standing on the list next time around, but he certainly is a local MP in the meantime, isn't he?
That's right. So in things like this, you go to the local MP because that's the advocacy role that they play.
Indeed.
I mean, he's also a minister, but I wouldn't want to put that on him as a minister. But as a local MP, it was a responsibility. So we have pressed that button really hard.
Right, fair enough. Now, just for clarification, you mentioned business class before. You're not implying that they've got posh seats in the planes. You're talking about the kind of traveller that those times would appeal to. Yeah,
it's just same seats. I mean, but it is just that early morning flights are normally business flights. And consistently, they've always been filled up. So that's a good place to start.
Now, another issue related to the airfield is the traffic control. It was in the process of being withdrawn. Now, is that going to affect the future of Air Chathams as well?
I think it's you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater because the air flight information services are critical. I mean, you cannot remove control towers in places like Napier, Rotorua, and like in Bocado because they've got high frequency flight areas. You need that. But Kapiti is different. I think it was originally mandated during Noel Robinson's time. And when he was around trying to get Air New Zealand in, you had the operators out of the Kapiti Airport who were like Helicro, You had the gliders,
Yes.
you had the air training school, and then you had the aviation club, air club, Kapiti Air Club down there. So he was quite busy. But that's all gone now. I mean, heliport is gone, the gliders are gone. So it's very, very much less. So you don't need the amount of air traffic information that you used to. The other thing, of course, is the post-COVID. Currently after the virus thing, flight has even gone down even further. So
Indeed. But that wasn't my question. My question was, is effective air traffic control important to Air Chathams in continuing that service?
No, it's not. And the other factor is under particular regulation part 125, airports can operate and airlines can operate out of those places if the seating capacity is 30 seats and below. 30 seats and below, you don't need those extra information services. So what Chatham is saying, that their planes would be the subs which can carry 30 seats below, so they can easily operate. And the other thing people don't realize is when you have this air flight information services, the Airway Corporation charges them, and they used to charge, I think, close to just over $500,000 per year to the airport. And the airport will then charge the airlines operating out of it, the aircraft operating out of it. So actually, the removal of this means the financial viability of Air Chathams and Sound Air increases. It's very short in the arm. So we don't actually need it.
So you're not going to advocate that it be reinstated, obviously?
No, obviously not. So I have not lent my support to this. Because the other thing, of course, you've got to realize that the viability of the airport being an airport also is dependent partly on airlines operating out of it. So it's no use calling it an airport when nobody's operating out of it.
And it's a very strategic asset, as you pointed out in the past when we had the Air New Zealand debacle. But are you concerned that if this Air Chathams resurgence does not succeed, that in fact we will see a whole bunch of commercial premises or housing or something at what is currently the airport?
I think it's not something they can do overnight because it's a zone airport, and taking out a zoning like that will have to be publicly notified. The people who are concerned about the resilience of in a sort of civil emergency side, people who are just the airport as an airport has got a very long history in Kapiti, and therefore I think there will be past objections. You'll go through hearings and stuff like that, so it will be dragged out. So, but at the end of the day, you realize this is a privately owned airport. So there are tensions around it. But having a viable airlines out of it, of course, strengthens the viability of the airport.
Another thing I'd like to bring up is the Kapiti Gateway Project, which has been a matter of some controversy recently. And you've accused Councillor Bernie Randall and the community board member Guy Burns of peddling misinformation and neo-colonialism. And this seems to be quite extreme language. In my summation, they appeared to be questioning the costs involved in the Kapiti Gateway Project.
You cannot publicly go and say that this is a quote, this is a memorial to someone's foolishness. A memorial to someone's foolishness when the two characters know and they've been involved in the public consultation process that created the public document, the McLean Park Te Urihi management plan. The huge amount of EV work that's been done on it and the history of that, and they've got some really key Tirapraha and Kahi or Torangi who are key people in their ancestors linked to that area, and the design, the architect that designed it actually showed us diagrams of the gateway, the Whaharoa, the gateway for it, and the Pou Whenua that will be used. These are linked very strongly to Maori culture and the ancestors. So for them to sort of say, oh, this is a memorial to someone's foolishness, how do you think that went down? I know for a fact that it's been highly hurtful.
Yeah, but you could also say when you say things like neocolonialism, you're playing the race card.
No, well, I'm not playing the race card. I say neocolonialism is a state of mind. Institutionalized racism is what neocolonialism is. So when you know that these are the documents that the Maoris have been working with, and you totally ignore it, and then you also say some hurtful things, it shows you that you have no regard for Maori input into that area. You have absolutely no regard. And I think that's serious. Given the fact that these two are representatives of the war, they should know the history of the place. They don't. Why is that? And I didn't just mention that issue. I also mentioned the fact they were peddling a whole lot of misinformation. A list of it.
So that's the Kapiti Gateway Project. Is there any progress to report on that, by the way? Because I understand that you were working on that at some pace in order to get a bid into government for some provincial growth fund money. How is that going?
Well, look, we've been waiting around for more than 3 years for this. People have been talking about it, papers have been presented, a whole lot of stuff on this matter. And this is a key part of the whole district in the identity of us as, linked to Kapiti Island and everything. And so Provincial Growth Fund is offering, the possibility of us getting $2 million to help with it. We front up with half, they front up with half. So that's where the situation is. So we know that the windows are closing rapidly in terms of our ability to do this. So the application has got to go in this month to the PGF, people who make the decisions on the funding. So, we are working at pace, and therefore this sort of antagonism is not helpful.
Mayor of the Kapiti Coast, Gurunathan, thank you very much for joining us. Guru, you're always welcome here on Beach FM.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the listeners.
106.3 Beach FM.